And good evening, everyone, and welcome up to Shreveport, Louisiana. It is time for Ash Trojan playoff football as the Trojan travels continue to traverse the Trojans around the state.
Nice.
This is Ash Trojan football. We have made our way up to Lee Hedges Stadium to take on the Yellow Jackets of C.E. Byrd High School, the number 6 ranked Yellow Jackets coming out of the Division I select side of it. They are out of 1-5A in a big district. We told you a lot about that last night. All of the talking's been done. We are 27 minutes away from kickoff. This looks to be a great night. It is a chilly night here in Shreveport, Louisiana, but certainly football weather, as people will call it. Just a good, cool, crisp night here up in the northwest portion of the state. You see on the field Joe and the Trojans getting ready to go. The Trojans in their purple pants, white shirts with the purple numbers and gold trim. And looking around, and I guess he's stuck on the bridge again. I don't see my broadcast partner, Ernie, and hadn't heard from him tonight, so unsure where he is at. But nevertheless, welcome into the press box here at Lee Hedges Stadium. I am Doug Gann alongside of, I guess, Chuck Perkins for a little bit. Brett Stallsby is in the house. He's going to be running stats for us tonight. And first things first, I got to tell you, the hospitality that we have ran into here at Byrd High School is second to none. You know, we see a lot of that in a lot of places that we go. And as bitter as the games are, hospitality and that passion for the game should be a very spirited night. But hats off to the folks here at Byrd High School from the moment that we walked in until the walk-ons arrived in this big tire-sized cookie that I have. And, Chuck, there's no more cookies, so you're out of there. But, Chuck, from the show last night up here, Trojans made their way out there. Should be an exciting football game.
It should be. You know, we had a nice trip up, and as the trip up is, for me, it's always nice and relaxing. Just kind of kick back and relax.
Because you don't drive. That's right.
And I was going to ask you, so how was your trip this time, Doug?
Well, I slept, and normally you get aggravated when I sleep on the trip because most of the time I'm driving. So
yeah, because you were sitting in front of me and I couldn't see where your eyes were.
Yeah, they were closed.
Darn, if I'd have known
where
that,
they were. No, so we've moved our camera guy. A couple of audibles we called. Move our camera guy over to stats, and he drove today too. So
nice.
Yeah, there'll be extra turkey leg for him at Thanksgiving dinner when he comes over here. Brother-in-law Brett takes care of a lot of things for us, and we're glad to have him up here. Glad to have you with us as well. Like a little bit of a lean on that camera angle. Not sure. We'll have to see if that can get that one fixed. But the Trojans, off of a 42-0 win over McKinley High School, the Panthers of McKinley last week. We made the trip down to the Baton Rouge area, took a right onto the Nicholson exit off of the bridge, went straight on Highland, and down through to McKinley we went. This time it's up I-49 to Shreveport, and the Trojans looking to continue their playoff run. We talked to Joe and some of the other guys out there, talked to Cunningham, JT, and they're as fired up and ready to go as we have seen. They're going to have to be to face this high-powered offense here of the Yellow Jackets of Byrd. They are led by Lake Lambert, third in a line of siblings that have come through Byrd. And one thing that I've found, it's a rich history of family out of this Byrd area, and they make their way through here. Lake, the youngest, hasn't thrown the ball as much, but I tell you, in the warm-ups that I've seen, probably throws a better spiral and better touch pass than anybody I've seen, and you'll see him lead the ground game tonight. Now, when Lake does throw the ball, Jackson Dufresne is his lead receiver, the 6'4 senior wide receiver, and why wouldn't you go after such a big target like that? Devin Strickland will get the ball out of that kind of a veer wing type of offense. They run the ball quite a lot on there. But, Chuck, you were looking at him a little bit earlier, too, and Lake spins the ball as well as anybody we've seen.
He does. And, you know, I mean, a good-looking squad out there for this Yellow Jacket team they've got. So it ought to be a barn burner, I guess, if you would. Neither team's really looking forward to it being a barn burner, but it ought to be an exciting game to watch for the viewers.
Well, it certainly will be an exciting one. And speaking of exciting, you take a look around Lee Hedges Stadium, Chuck, and I think you can move the camera around. Now, interesting note about Lee Hedges, all of the teams in Caddo Parish make Lee Hedges Stadium their home. Stadium holds about 8,500 in it, we believe. And you look down on the sideline and you see the sponsor signs. Normally, these are the signs that you see hung along the fence of the wall. Well, they can't do that because you've got so many teams that are coming in here and calling this your home. You would be full of these signs, and nobody would be able to get theirs in here. So they bring out these expandable signs. They set them down, and it was a sight to watch them bring those out. But you're looking around the facility there, beautiful turf field that's out here. Of course, doubles as a soccer field, as all of them do when you're on campuses like this. They can keep it going year-round. And we asked Bachman about that last night. Coach, what would it be like to have a stadium like this that all of the schools there in Rapides Parish played in? And he's like, I don't want that.
No.
It wants their home, wants their place to go, something they can use year-round and not just a little while. So, but exciting upgrades coming back to Butch Stoker Stadium as well. But Coach Bachman says, no, we want to be the only one that plays there.
Well, one of the things I see on the markings on the field, I see the soccer markings, but I see another one. I think that is for lacrosse. And so some of the teams up here, so they have football, soccer, and they also play lacrosse. So they get multiple uses out of the field with all those different sports that they have going on. And I'm not sure how many games the lacrosse plays in a season, but I would imagine it's quite a few. And
we've seen that when we went down to St. Thomas More, that Lafayette South area, I-10 area, and now up here at the I-20 side of it, lacrosse has not quite made it to central Louisiana yet. Volleyball is creeping its way in there, but we've yet to see lacrosse. Maybe with that turf introduction to the field next season, we'll do that. Going to take our first break of the evening. We'll come back. We'll recap a little bit more of what we talked about last night that gets us ready for tonight. Big shout out to all of our sponsors that make this trip possible. You are watching Ash Trojan football exclusively on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investment.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
We're
And back to the field we go. I am Doug Gann alongside of Chuck Perkins. Coach Lott has made his way into the arena just backing the bus up, and I'm watching him right now. Chuck, he's over to the far side. That is that's Coach Lott that you see. So he does double duty. He drives the band bus up here and got around here running late, and now he's having to back the bus all the way around. And I'm cleaning it up for the way that he explained it to me earlier. But
back that thing up, basically.
That's what you see going on here at Byrd High School. Back to the field and the look of it. You know, we talk about the storied history of these two. In the, it was so Byrd has been around. It was renamed Byrd in 1925. We talked about that last night. They were previously Shreveport High School, but in all the years of football that's been played, this is meeting number 1 between these two squads.
Nice.
So first ever matchup between Byrd and Alexandria.
You would think they have probably met before because it looks like they sport the exact same purple and gold.
They do, and you see that starting to make its way out here. Looking at Byrd this season, they open things up with a win. Won 4 in a row. Pleasant Grove, they take care of. That's a team out of Texas that we've seen play on Texarkana Game Day before. The Huntington Raiders, they win that one 46-22. Calvary, they beat 14-7. Captain Shreve, that we watched play that Tioga team in the rain back down at the reservation last week, they won that 25-20. And then Benton Tigers, they traveled just a short jaunt from here to play Benton, and Benton really lit it up that night, and that gave the first loss of the season to this Byrd team, 63-28. And then homecoming against Houghton, they lost that one as well, 23-14. Lambert didn't play all of that game, and that was what in part led to that. They take out Parkway the next week. Airline they lose to. In that one, Airline goes on and wins the district in there. Bounced in the first round of the playoffs. So just shows you some differences on there. Byrd had the bye week in week 1. Airline, the district champion, out of the playoffs on there. Southwood, that everybody beat up on, 58-0 win for Byrd there. Natchitoches Central, our only common opponent. We handled Natchitoches Central, and that's what got things going for the Trojans this year. And they win that game 34-3 as the season ended. You all remember that one. That started a run of a couple of straight victories, even the season for the Trojans at 2-2. Trojans 4-6 on the season, now 5-6 with that playoff victory, and 7-3 on the season for Byrd. Byrd had the bye last week by way of the 6th ranking in the power rankings. Coach Stacy Ballou takes over here as the head coach. Took over last season. Has been around here 26 years as a student, a player, and a coach on there. Only one stint he was gone. And that was when he coached in junior high just a little bit. But he is back, took over the reins after a long time. Legendary coach Mike Suggs made his retirement from here. So Ballou was an offensive lineman for this team. So if you ever heard of somebody that bleeds purple and gold for this Byrd team, it is head coach Stacy Ballou. And what a great choice as he has continued the tradition of great football here. Mike Suggs, of course, we told you, was here from 98 to 2020 and a master record of 167-89. Incidentally, Lee Hedges, it's not like the Hedges in Georgia. No. That's actually one of the coaches that was here from 1956 to 1959. Was Lee Hedges, and that's who the stadium here is named after. So it's about as much of the history as we've got for you. Again, you're going to look at a run-heavy Byrd Ball Club tonight. They will come back and throw the ball. Don't let Lake Lambert fool you. He can sling the ball as well as anybody. I watched him some in warm-up and slings the ball as well, Chuck, as anybody that I've seen.
He does, and like you said earlier, he has a beautiful spiral on that ball. So, yeah, I mean, that's just weapons upon weapons upon weapons that I'm sure it's going to be on display tonight for this Yellow Jackets team.
It will.
So,
and
something else, but.
Great history for them. 8 state championships, another 6 state runners-up. And so they've been playing football since 1905. Remember, they didn't change their name to Byrd, C.E. Byrd, until 1925. So 20 years they go as Shreveport High. In comparison, 118 years of football history for Byrd. And Trojans are in their 52nd season, I guess, 51st or 52nd. So
Have to remember to ask Mr. Ernie when he gets up here, Coach Lott, whenever he gets up here, if what the ceremony was like when they changed names.
I think, if he ever makes it up here, he might be too tired to get up here after all of this. Again, a lot of this information gathered for us by the legendary voice of the Byrd Yellow Jackets, and Charlie Cavell also coaches their baseball team. But a big shout out to Coach Cavell for getting all of that information over to us. And that's another one of those things we're missing at Alexandria are these. On the notes that I got from him, we even have combinations of jersey and pants, what their record was in that. So 3-0 in the white pants and white jerseys. We'll see what Byrd comes back out in that tonight, even coin toss and what they want. So great work by the folks here at Byrd, but none of the pregame ceremony is going to matter. It's going to matter when they get the coin toss going on, and we're going to bring you every bit of it. Our man Lamar Gafford is in the house. Lamar said, "There's no way I was going to miss this one." He is a 2005 graduate of C.E. Byrd High School. So a big shout out to Lamar Gafford there. Boy, nothing like messing up the shout out.
Yeah, I'm looking for him. I was going to.
He's right down there on the 48-yard line. Got his camera out. And, no, your other 48. There you go. Keep going. Up in the middle of the field is where he's at.
Ah, there he is.
See, there's Lamar.
Hey, Lamar, wave at us.
Lamar does the work for Cenla Preps back
watching.
home, long-time Town Talk and Gannett writer, and has went out and done his own thing. Now teaches at Peabody.
Yes.
He's an educator there, so congratulations.
Him on that.
Congratulations to Lamar on there. When the Trojans are out offensively, of course, you will see Joe Bordelon pulling the trigger as he has all night long. Datlin Cunningham has amassed 1,500 yards and 24 touchdowns on the ground, picked up another 200 through the receptions and a one that wheel route that we saw early in the year for his touchdown receiving. He's going to carry the bulk of the load. Of course, J.T. Lindsey, the sophomore, will come in and spell him from time to time. Close to 800 yards receiving for Amirion Mingo and Jalen Johnson. So those two have combined for 1,600 of Joe's 2,500 yards that he has thrown the ball for. Joe with 24 touchdowns of himself. So the Trojans have scored close to 50-plus touchdowns. Going to need the bulk of it tonight. Will Josh Marie's return continue to pay dividends for that defense? We'll see. We're getting ready for the teams to come out, so we'll keep an eye on that. I don't know if we have our ambiance mic that's on out there. You can kind of get an eye on what's going on. We hung that out the window. First time that we've hung a microphone outside the window in front of us since the Ruston game 2 years ago, and somebody stole my microphone that night. They come in and unclipped it and took the microphone down, and so now it's right here in front of us. I think that we'll be okay when we see that.
If it fell out of their hands, they'd really just drop the mic at that point, right?
Stop. This is why we keep Chuck to producing and don't let him get the microphone much. I'm going to get him one of those little microphones that the bubbles come out of, and that's the one I'm going to let him use from here on out. Byrd starting to make their way back out onto the field, and, I mean, good contingent of Trojan fans that made the trip up I-49. You can't really tell it because that side holds so many. Trojans getting ready to go. They finally went away from after years of painting the banners. Now they get one. They just stitch it right back together.
Nice Velcro. You know, the guy who ever invented Velcro, you know.
He and the Post-it note man don't have to worry about much. They're not living paycheck to paycheck by any means. On there you see sponsors rotating around down in the corner. The scroll, not much going on down there because Trojans are the only game in town. They're the only ones that remain from our coverage area from Rapides Parish. But we're glad that you're here with us tonight. I am Doug Gann alongside of Chuck Perkins, who will give way to Ernie if Ernie ever makes it up here and gets parked. But he's a long way from where we are at. And that's what he gets for joking about traffic being bad and him getting up here a little quicker this time.
And he may have stopped to try to find some chicken parts, but we're too far north for that, like you've discussed before.
We have talked about that. Those northern trips up to Monroe, West Monroe, up to Shreveport, pull that, and you can't get into the Cracklands. We always make a stop down at Billy's or somewhere when we're going the other way. Yes. But our Trojan travels have taken us all over the state. We'd love to be playing at home next week or playing anywhere next week, of course. But got to take care of business tonight. Again, waiting on the Trojans to come out. Seems like it's that little waiting game. You don't want to be the first one out.
That's what it feels like,
Now, Byrd has the bigger banner, too. We don't know that will factor into play any tonight, but they certainly hoist that one bigger. And the Trojans look to have a little bit less in numbers than Byrd does tonight. Man, these teams are so eerily identical with jersey colors and the formations and the way they go at it.
It's a good thing they're not watching on black and white TVs either, because you wouldn't be able to tell much on this.
All right, so they are in their purple, and I'll have to see what their record is when they're in that again. Their jersey combinations there, purple top jersey and white pants.
Is it yellow?
They're 2-1, so there's something to be said there. Getting the points on the board is what the Trojans are going to have to do, and keeping Byrd down low. Byrd does not want to get into a shootout in this one. They want to control the football, and we saw a lot of that, Chuck, in that in our trips up to West Monroe and Ruston and Ouachita. Those teams like to control the football and run it. Goodness, I don't guess either team wants to come out tonight in this one. Both are hanging around outside the banners waiting to get this thing started.
The cheer squads are all ready with the flags up and ready to run, and in that run position, there goes the Trojans.
There come your Ash Trojans making their way out. The ASH flag. The cheerleaders are tumbling. The players are coming out, and we are getting ready to get our on-field activities set up. And if you're tuning in tonight, we thank you for that. If you went back and listened to this one again or watched again, we certainly appreciate you for tuning in. Sailed through the 446 on our subscribers for YouTube. I remember we were back under 100 at the start of this season. Here come the Byrd Yellow Jackets. See if we can get the captains set up for it here. Got to get the binoculars lined up. That's a long way down on that field. These bleachers are some of the highest that we've seen as well.
It's like number 5, number 8.
Trying to get, Trojans normally come out with their same captains, Tay Frazier, Bryce Russing, Joe Bordelon, and Josh Marie. And that's the 4 that you'll see lined up for Byrd. There's a number of them. They're going to be led out by number 10, Christian Jones, it looks like.
Yeah. A swarm of them there, Doug.
Well, interestingly enough, that defense here for the Jackets is nicknamed the Purple Swarm. So, as bad as I hate to say it, you're on the right page for that.
Well, nice.
Rushing Bordelon, Frazier, and Josh Marie. Josh Marie just standing there, arms crossed, just looking businesslike as usual. We're going to turn it over to the field and let you listen to the prayer and the national anthem, and we'll get things going.
United States of America. We stand this evening for the posting of the colors and the national anthem. The colors will be posted this evening by the C.E. Byrds Yellow Jacket Battalion, led by Cadet Master Sergeant Isaiah Williams carrying the national flag, followed by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Natasha Jacobs as the National Guard. Cadet Private Cameron Lee carrying the state flag. And Cadet Staff Sergeant Zaira Williams as the State Guard under the supervision of Sergeant First Class Eric Mills. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
And we are back here. Great rendition of our national anthem presented by the Yellow Jackets band here, and they'll make their way back up into the bleachers. And it's a deceiving crowd because, again, the place holds 8,500, so you don't really know. But it looks like they are starting to file in on the other side, those Trojan fans making their way in and getting ready to get this coin toss going. Again, we told you it was Josh Marie, Tay Frazier, Joe Bordelon, and Bryce Rushing. A couple of people have joined 10, or one has actually, and that's number 26. So it is Devin Strickland. You'll see him carry it along with what we expect is the entire senior class. Trojans will call the toss. Of course, they are the road team tonight. Made the trip to Baton Rouge last week, so they're secure in their traveling. Getting, looks like our man Ernie has made it here after the long walk from the far side.
Oxygen.
And he's back with us here. He's talking to Bryce Rushing, is the official that's in when the coin toss is up, and it hits one of the players, bounces around. Boy, that's the best play-by-play that I've ever called. Byrd has won the toss and is elected to defer. That means the Trojans will get the football to start things off. That one bounced around. Trojans will be going from left to right as we sit on the home side. So they're going towards the Lee Hedges scoreboard tonight. And Coach, that want to.
Yeah, it's this time of year, you know, it's like I say, students are going to be out playing over the Thanksgiving holidays if they win this game, and so it's going to take a little bit extra. And you know, both teams are good. They wouldn't be here in the first place. So
Mingo and Jalen Johnson sprint out. They're stacked to the near side. That's the home side. Cunningham in the backfield with Joe. No receiver to the top, so they'll come with just two receivers. Creeping in, looking like he wants to blitz, is Walker Fox. Handoff goes right up the middle. That is Cunningham, and he's going to get just, they'll give him 2.5, so we'll make it second down and a long 8.
And one good thing, they got that lit up down marker over there, so for our bad eyes, we can see it very well.
Indeed it is. Cunningham stays in the backfield, second down and 8. Man in motion. That goes to Mingo. Mingo trying to slip inside. Now goes the other way. falls down just a couple yards shy of the first down. They mark him down at the 28. He's just got to get the nose of the football on the 30 as it was a touchback, and quickly the Trojans will work. Booming voice of the PA announcer here doing a solid job. Joe brings Jones in motion. Quick shot over to Jalen. Jalen's got it. He's trying to get into the open field. 40, now 50, 40-yard line. Big time play for Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, nice block by the wide receiver out there to spring him. Get up, pick up big yardage.
Looked like about a 32-yard gain. We'll get the official look at it. That is it. And the Trojans, they move it back a little, so give him 30 on it. First down and 10 from the 41 of Byrd. Handoff goes up the middle. Cunningham's got it banging around, and not a lot of yardage, Coach, but you'll take 3 or 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, they must have watched a little bit of the film from the McKinley game. I noticed they bring in number 18, which to me is probably their strong safety, and he's cheating up, and then he's trying to come off from the outside corner out there. This time he's got him dropped off.
Now 3 receivers to the near side. Jones, Mingo, and Johnson. Toss to the near side is Cunningham. Cunningham's going to get hit in the backfield, and that's just a tremendous play back there by number 9, Brooks Brosette. He is their leading tackler.
Yeah, nice tackle in the open field. Went for the ankles and brought him down. It's going to bring third and good 7 or 8 yards for a first down.
Brooks Brosette in there on that one. Again, the leading tackler for Byrd for the season. You figure that the Trojans getting down this far are in 4-down territory early on.
That's man coverage everywhere.
Back to passes. Joe zips this one out, bounces in and out of the hands of Jones and incomplete. Now you remember that Joe does the kicking for the Trojans, so even if he stays out there, you have the opportunity at a little pooch kick and play some, and an opportunity to play some field position. We'll see he's signaling around what he's going to do there. 4th down and 7, big 4th down play early on.
Let's see if they want to try to draw them off sides here.
Play clock just at 19 and 18, 9:48. So early on in this one, clock is stopped following that incompletion. And Joe does do the pooch kick. Good high kick. See if it bounces off of a Yellow Jacket. It doesn't, but it rolls inside the 5 and the 4 and the 3. And that's exactly what you wanted to see out of that play call.
They got to go 97 yards, and hopefully the defense will step up. If I've read a little bit up on this team, they're primarily a run team. Is that correct?
They like to run the ball a lot, but I'll tell you that Lake Lambert, the senior quarterback, likes to throw the football. His number 1 target is Jackson Dufresne, and they have hooked up several times this year, but primarily they will come out and run the ball.
Well, I'm sure they got a few wrinkles like McKinley last week. You know, they had the spread set and swinging gate and all that other stuff set up, so see what they get.
They like to just line up and bring it right to you. Lambert under center, gives it to the first man. No, he's going to keep it, and there goes Lambert in open field. And Lambert's got a chance to go 97 yards unless somebody can catch him. He is off. There's a flag, so it's going to come back.
No, I think that was a sideline warning. That's going to count.
97 yards on the keeper from Lambert, and my goodness.
That was just a quarterback wham right there. The fullback led up in, blocked on the linebacker, and the quarterback was untouched.
Yeah, they'll give, looks like just the sideline warning there, Coach. I think you were right on. It wasn't the way it was thrown. There was no hold.
Yeah, they just kids were excited, coaches were excited, and got in the way of the referee running down the sideline. So the sideline warning. The next one will be a penalty. Unfortunately, that's a score.
1 play, 9 seconds. Correction, we'll get the time of it. And my goodness, what a run from Lambert. And we told you that he was explosive, and indeed he was. That's certainly not how you want to start this out. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is good. 7-0. Yellow Jackets take the lead in big-time fashion. We'll be back in 30 seconds on 446 Sports.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, It's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
And we are back. A stunned Trojan crowd as Lambert goes one play, 97 yards. That'll add your rushing total. Pretty good.
Yeah, almost 100 yards on the first offensive series, and didn't have to go but one play to get it.
Lindsey and Jones back deep to receive their second kickoff for Abram Murray. Put his first one into the end zone for a touchback, and that will get this Yellow Jacket crowd on their feet.
That's a definite weapon that the Trojans have had in the past, not quite so much this year, so have to start deep in their own territory unless he shanks this one or something.
Talked to a lot of the people here before the game, and they couldn't say enough about Lake Lambert. Their JT's got it at the 5, now 10, 15, trying to get to a same, bangs around, and is going to be out the 25 to the 27, and that's where the Trojans will have their second offensive set. See if they can do a little more with this one.
Unfortunately, the thing about the passing game, I know it's already getting pretty chilly out there. Those fingers will get a little numb, and Trojans are going to have to keep their fingers warm and try to make those catches when they're thrown to them.
And Joe doesn't have a lot of touch on that fastball of his.
No,
Speaking of baseball, Lambert is the everyday catcher for the Byrd Yellow Jackets.
Joe's one of the starting pitchers for the Trojans. So
high snap, toss back to the near side is Cunningham, trying to cut up, spun around, but defensively there, number 90, that is Isaiah Ford, and a penalty flag comes in late towards the backside of the field.
Might have been a little trash talking, or somebody put in a little extra hit there.
Well, with the flag back 13 yards off the ball, Trojans could ill afford to back up. They're waving the flag off.
Where's do you know where the officials come from? What association?
No. Usually you get that information for us, but you were piddling around on the bus.
Yeah.
Second down and 10, 8:59 to go here. First quarter play, Trojans trail this one 7-0. Joe's got Datlin in the backfield, Mingo and Johnson to the far side of the field, and Eric Jones to the near side. And, boy, that miss from Eric Jones on the bobble earlier that would have made the first down would have helped out. Trojans can ill afford to miss on any opportunities. That one is thrown behind Jalen and goes incomplete. That'll bring up third down and 10.
Not the way Trojans want to start. Not real sharp drop pass, throw one behind. Byrd's playing a man underneath and safeties over the top, or too deep coverage. Free safeties on both sides.
Just not clicking early on. Joe's got 3 receivers to the top, now 4 as he sends Cunningham in motion. Throwing that little bubble screen. That's Mingo. Mingo's got some room up the middle. First down for the Trojans out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, had them spread out that time and was able to go back over the middle there.
That'll get the Trojans up and going now quickly. Townsend comes back in at the tight end spot. Snap is back, zipped out. That one is complete to the far side. Johnson spinning around. That's Mingo again. Mingo back-to-back catches, back-to-back first downs, gets to the 40-yard line after a 16-yard gain. Trojans quickly trying to get down the field, and this is shades of Ash and West Washington. Handoff goes right up the middle. Datlin just bullying his way over defenders. 8-yard carry for Cunningham. Give him officially 7 on the play. Make it second down and 3. 8:04 to go here in the first. Trojans up and going. Cunningham's going to get it again, and he's going to barrel forward for see where they mark it. They're going to mark him at the 35, so a 2-yard carry. It'll be third down and less than a yard.
Just looking at their defensive front, they're not near as big up front as some of the teams we played prior to this, but they do a good job of stemming and moving right before the snap to try to confuse the blocking schemes.
Johnson and Mingo to the top. Harrington is the unattached H-back. Joe calls for the ball. Handoff's going to go right up the middle once again, and it is a first down for Cunningham down to the 32-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the carry and a Trojan first down.
That was one of the things that the coaches, I talked to them earlier in the week, and they said that, they're not as big as some of the teams we've faced up front, but.
Cunningham 17 yards so far on the ground. Mingo and Johnson with a couple of big receptions. Joe's up to 60 yards passing, most of that on this drive. 2 to the top. Cunningham in the backfield with Joe, and they take a pause to look to the near side. Over here with us is Eric Jones, number 14. He sits at the numbers on the home side where the Byrd Yellow Jackets reside. 6:53 and counting, first down and 10 for your Trojans. Cunningham's got it again, going to get another 4 or 5. And, Coach, they'll give him 3. Cunningham officially with 3. Not big explosive yardage, but you like the way that they're owning and pushing back that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and we're just a step away. Then he almost broke it. The guy got him by the ankles, and as you can see there, and we haven't gotten to the linebackers yet, but I think if we can get back in that secondary, it could be trouble for them.
But that bigger offensive line leaning on that D-line. Joe rolling now to his left. Going to look back this way, a little throwback, but not even looking is E.J. Scott, and that's going to be picked off. Got to get outside and make it. This could be another touchdown, and it's going to be a pick 6. That one is going to go to the house. That is LaMichael Taylor, and spirited to say the least. Going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see who they call it on. Touchdown will be good. But there's going to be a couple of flags that came in at the end, and Scott not looking on that one.
Looked like it might have been did they have target in high school? Because they sure looked like he went to the head on our defender down here, the last guy that hit him right on the sideline. Yep, that's what it's called, targeting. Watch it, the last guy hits him in the helmet on the sideline, and they just told the coach on this side that that's what the call was.
Number 14, Michael Taylor with the interception for Byrd.
So they're going to call it, take the touchdown off the board. The touchdown will come off the board, and this drive will start at 5:59 to go on the Trojan 28-yard line.
Yeah, that was on Joe, though. He had his receiver open that time. He just underthrew him and threw it right into the defender's hands.
And the receiver wasn't looking
either. Yeah, you're right.
Goodness gracious, in a worst fears realized type of start to this one.
Not a good start for the Trojans.
Not at all. Second as they start, Byrd starts on the plus 28.
Got a heavy set here.
Handoff is going to go around the side and trying to bury through, and that is Malachi Johnson, number 4, that carries that one for Byrd, but still picks up 8 on the play. And the Trojans are unable to figure out this misdirection on the first couple of plays and are finding themselves behind the 8 ball.
It's like an old wing T here. They got 2 wing backs and a fullback, and it's going in motion.
And they will stop and look to the near side. Second down and 3, officially 7 on the carry for Malachi Johnson.
Shades of the Naval Academy and the Army that all runs this is kind of like a wishbone set.
Handoff goes to Strickland up the middle. He's busting to the outside. One man to get him, and does.
Linebacker's got cut off again. And
that's Barajas that makes the tackle. Number 9, John Barajas with the stop. But it is another first down. And, Coach, this is shades of those first couple of games of the season where the Trojans couldn't figure it out on defense early on.
Yeah, and they're got to give credit to Captain Shreve. Not Captain Shreve, Byrd. They're doing a good job putting a hat on everybody, picking up their blocks.
And look, this is grinding on the clock too. They're content to just chew up as much clock as they can. Motion. Smallwood gets it up middle, and he barrels over. Goodness gracious, Devin Strickland. Strickland with the carry there.
Lowered his shoulder and put somebody on their back. I couldn't see who it was.
Looked like he was just looking to hit somebody there. Picks up a couple, second down and goal from the 7. 4:13 remaining in the first. It is 7-0. A touchdown off of the board on that targeting call that was there on what would have been a pick 6, but it's the 97-yard touchdown run from Lake Lambert on the first play from scrimmage for the Yellow Jackets.
And they're using all the clock and keeping it out of the Trojans' hands, which is a smart move.
Oh, absolutely it is. Under center it goes. Handoff now comes to the near side.
Touchdown.
Misdirection, and that is going to get into the end zone. Tyler Nichols goes in, and Coach, the Trojans are going to have to figure this thing out quick and finish off those offensive possessions, or they're going to get run out of the building.
Yeah, they're getting put in a hole here early. The defense is giving up too many easy runs, and the offense is not doing their thing. So it might be a long night for the Trojans if they don't crank it up here soon.
Murray set to kick this one. Abram Murray, the junior place kicker, we saw him just hammering the ball in pregame.
He may put it out there by the band trailer, and it was pretty close.
Does that one again, and he hits it, back over the track. 14-0. Trojans find themselves in a hole. We'll be back in 30 seconds on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
We are back to Lee Hedges Stadium here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Trojans have moved the ball in the game between the 30s, I guess, if you will. But Joe, 3 of 5 on the day, passing for 65 yards, 61 yards, correction. The one INT would have been a pick six had it not been for the targeting. And Murray set to kick off again, and just the trouble continues for the Trojans. Things going exactly the way you want if you are a Jackets fan. Kick is high, and it is short. Coming up and making that is JT. JT's got it 10 now, 15-20. Trying to find a seam, and the Trojans, Coach, just on kicks, have not been able to really bust a big one this year.
Yeah, special teams and kicks and punts, either one has not been very good for the whole year. We haven't given up the ball, but we haven't run one back or even come close.
3:39 remaining in the first, and the Trojans have some good yards. They're close to 100 yards of total offense here in the first, but no touchdowns. The one INT and then the short punt. The Trojans thought they had them when the ball rolled down to the 3-yard line, but all Lake Lambert does is go 97 yards on one play. Joe's got it back to pass, zips it over to Mingo. Mingo getting a block from Jalen, and Mingo trying to get down to the sideline. Mingo continuing to roll the yards up. Good job of downfield blocking by Showtime Duke. Now he goes out to the other side. Coach, Trojans haven't had a problem moving the ball here. It's just when they get down into the plus territory. Snap is back. Quick throw again to Mingo. That's a long throw over there, and he's going to actually... Oh, they'll mark him forward for a yard, but it took that ball too long to get there, throwing it from one hash to the far side.
Yeah, and the block was missed by the other wide receiver that time, and they were able to recover, plus he slipped down, so not a good play overall.
Harrington is in there as the H-back. Mingo to the near side. Cunningham in the backfield. You also have Townsend, so you got the two tight ends set, if you will. Johnson, the lone receiver, to the top of the field. He comes in motion now to join Mingo this side. Turns upfield. The toss is to Cunningham and gets through the stunting linebacker. All of this is on Datlin. Datlin to the 45 and now down to the 40. And my goodness, that was all Cunningham.
Well, the offense has got to come back and put a score on now. We got a flag on the play, so we're probably going to get a hold or a block in the back here, if I was to guess.
See if we can get an idea from the official early.
On this side. Block in the back. Yep.
Boy, that's not what you needed. And that tremendous run from Datlin Cunningham, who had an opportunity to go down in the backfield, pushed through that would-be tackler. But this one will come back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which was the 49-yard line. So it'll be back to the 39, second down behind the chain, second down and 15. Trojans have to get to the 46-yard line of Byrd.
Right now the Trojans they're their own worst enemy offensively between the mistakes and shooting themselves in the foot for one thing or another. 2:20 and counting in the first quarter. Byrd's doing what they need to do is eat up the clock and keep it out of the Trojans' hands as much as possible.
Back to pass is Joe, filling the rush. Got to set that screen up, and they do. But a good time play pulling off of that one.
That's number 18 again. Yeah, that's a strong safety. He's looking for an outside linebacker. Whichever
Walker Fox comes up and makes that play.
Sometimes he's stunting, sometimes he's dropping off, and that time he dropped off and was ready for the little quick screen here. Third and forever.
Third down and 15, so no gain on that one on the screen, but lucky to get that ball out of there. Play action, snaps it the other way. It's going to take a lot of running by Mingo to get there. Spins around. Trojans will get, so the pressure is coming, but they're rolling off.
Yeah, he ran right back into where the lineman had backtracked and was able to come back.
And
Wonder what
first,
kind of return team they got to do, you know.
I don't know, but they've been electric in just about every facet of this one. Good punt from Joe. And that ball is going to roll down inside the 5. Trojans have got to get there. They kick it back perfectly, and the ball's going to be inside the 1. No, goodness gracious.
No, they're in the end zone.
They're calling him a touchback. The official to the far side called it that.
Right, at first he did, and then the guy took it and slid with it in the end zone, I believe is what happened. Because we did have it stopped for a second, but the second guy touched it. And
wow, what a punt by Joe. That was 60-some-odd yards.
Defense needs to come up with a stop right here. Otherwise, like I say, it could be a long night.
Well, we'll get them right where we want them, down 21-0.
Yeah, that's where we've been most of the year.
14-0. Trojans trail in this one, and here comes that Byrd offense that is like several that we've played up in the northeast portion. They like to get a lead and just grind on you. Strickland in the backfield. Lambert lifts up and looks to the near side. Got to believe this will be the final play of this quarter. It's 3 and 2 and 1 on the play clock.
Should have got a delay.
And they're going to get a delay of game. Took a little bit too long unless a timeout was taken. Nope, they'll call delay a game, and that's the only thing that is held up Byrd. It'll be first down and 15 from the 15.
Look for they maybe come back with a quarterback draw again or lead, whatever, fullback leading. That was a real good play. Nope.
There it is.
Option.
Toss to the near side, and he's off and going. Trojans just unable to get anything going. That was Frazier that comes up and makes that stop. But, or they'll give it to Barajas. Barajas coming up and making that. But that was Tyler Nichols. And that Byrd doesn't have to snap it again. In the way that they've been going, you'd expect them to grind off those last 30 seconds and go into the next quarter content.
Like I say, this looks similar to the wishbone. The only difference is they're not in the wishbone, but they're in the what would be wings on both sides, and they go in motion and then run the option like the wishbone.
The Jackets wanting to run a play, but Coach Stacy Ballou says, no, we'll probably just go on and get to the second quarter with a 14-0 lead, and that is great clock management by Ballou and the Jackets here. We'll be back for the second quarter. This first has been all Byrd. 14-0 back in just a moment on 446 Sports.
There was a huge assembly, and then he came to the gym, and he announced it.
I would like to honor a warrior that is right here.
I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor kidney cancer.
Colin McGee. We're going to fly you and your family to Universal Studios in Los Angeles to meet Adam Levine. Yes.
I got there, and then we went to Santa Monica Pier, and the water felt good, and I found a bunch of cool rocks, and then we went to The Voice the next day. I got to meet Adam Levine after the show, which was amazing.
And we are back to, we were back, there we go. We're back to live action now. And this one has been all Yellow Jackets in this one. Lambert under center. Again, the hand around. There's big-time Josh Marie making his presence felt as that handoff on the misdirection was to Tyler Nichols, but a loss of 5 there. Good work for Josh Marie.
Got to get some penetration. That's one of the things that haven't been doing. And bring the linebackers has got to read the option on dive, and got to have somebody on the pitch every time. And that's assignment football.
Not sure that's what Coach Ballou wanted coming out of the timeout. Trojans certainly take that one, and they are stepping up. But you got to watch the arm of Lambert. Lambert's going to keep it, and there he goes again, right up the middle. Lambert's going to get his second touchdown of the game.
Nobody was on the quarterback.
This one he goes 57 yards, and it is 20-0. Lambert having himself a day. That's 157 yards rushing by the young man, and 2 touchdowns.
That was nothing but a straight dive option, all that was, and either the end or the safety's got to take the quarterback on that, and it didn't happen.
You know, and this has the makings of a shootout, but the Trojans, forgetting to get the ball into the end zone, had an opportunity. Here comes the third PA attempt by Abram Murray, the junior right-footed kicker for the Yellow Jackets. That kick is up, and it is good over the scoreboard. Going to keep it right here as Murray puts his third extra point in through. Murray has one more year to kick here at Lee Hedges Stadium before he makes his way down to the University of Miami.
He's certainly a good one. He's definitely got the leg for it.
You'll be able to follow along and watch that young man unless O'Brien Kelly can come down and get him out of here and get himself a kicker there. We'd take him down in Baton Rouge without a doubt.
Yeah, get him a little change of heart there. Get what's the lawyer down there to give him a little.
That's right. Get a little NIL money from Gordon down there and get him on here. Boy, has that not changed? That and the transfer portal has changed the face of college football.
No, I'm not a big fan, but what I know. It'll be the Professional Football League of college. Well, got to see the Trojans are back to the old 21 points down.
Got them right where we want them here on a chilly Friday night. Goodness gracious. Byrd, you wondered would they be rested or rusty, and there's not a bit of rust on this number 6 ranked Jackets team here. Murray puts a foot into this one and hammers that out of the back of the end. Got a chance, just ducks under the goalpost, and very impressed with the leg on the junior kicker from the Jackets. 11-11 to go until halftime. Trojans trail this one 21-0, and watch for them to get this drive into the end zone here. They respond well when they get to this point, Coach.
Yeah, well, we're going into the wind now, though. There's about a 10, 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing out of the north, so we're going right into it here now.
A man making Nick Mikulas proud there with
a little weather report.
Right. If he starts quoting barometric pressure, I'm leaving.
I just know it's getting cold out there.
Handoff goes to Datlin along the far side, and there goes Cunningham, 14-yard pickup for Datlin.
We just seem to be a step away, and if we could just be more consistent.
Actually give him 15 as they mark him out to the 35-yard line. Datlin now with 35 yards rushing.
Run it again, Sam, is what I say. You pick up 15, let's do it again, unless they change your defense.
2 to the near side. Cunningham still flanked to the left side of Bordelon, the senior quarterback, senior running back combination. Right up the middle. Datlin is going to be hitting the backfield but fall forward for 1 yard. They'll give him 2nd down and 9.
Looks like they might have slanted the defensive front that time. Changed it up a little bit.
Johnson and Mingo now to this side. This is crunch time for the Trojans as they can ill afford to get any further behind. Handoff goes up the middle. Sprinting to the side goes Cunningham. He's going to be at the 50, now 40. Cunningham run out of bounds and just eased out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
He had 2 defenders down there waiting for him, and I guess this bigger part of
39-yard gain, it looks like, from there, and that will double up the rushing yards for Cunningham as he is at 75 now.
Just got to get it in the end zone here. We moved the ball well. Just
between the 30s, the Trojans have been neck and neck with the Yellow Jackets, but it's been red zone futility for the Trojans.
See what the front does here for their defense. They're scooting around.
Snap is back. Cunningham's got it. Why wouldn't he? Looks at a hole, but it closes quickly. 2 yards on the pickup for DC.
Nice job by number 18. He's a strong safety, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call him, multiplayer. He got off his block and came back down inside and picked.
12 carries now for Cunningham, 77 yards on the ground. Has yet to find the end zone. The young man's got 22 on the season, looking to add to that. 9:37 and counting here. Clock started. Continues to roll from the 24-yard line. Goes Joe in that offense for the Trojans. Calls for the ball and has it. Cunningham is going to be met in the backfield this time.
That was a missed block by the Trojans that time. He came off the edge and nobody laid a hand on him, and he fell down inside and stopped for about a 1-yard gain maybe.
You know, the only problem with this methodical run-heavy offense of the Trojans is they're not keeping up and have maybe going to wear down in the backside of this game. But, man, it's been explosive from Byrd, from the Jackets tonight. 3rd down and 8. Definitely 4-down territory here early on.
Here comes 18.
Handoff goes to Datlin once again, tiptoeing through, and is going to pick up 7 on the play. Will be just half a yard from the line of scrimmage. And we've seen Joe run up and get under center and snap this one and push forward.
The old scrum play, no.
Yard away from it. Cunningham will get it. He's met in the backfield, but it's all Datlin. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that's a turnover on downs. Yeah, no yards on the carry.
They were ready for the snap count and came down inside hard and stopped the Trojans, but no gain.
Interception tonight. The turnover on downs will count that as a turnover, and just when you get inside the red zone, things have not been effective for the Trojans at all. And the problem with Byrd is they're scoring from outside the red zone. They're shooting threes like Steph Curry, the way he scores from outside. Byrd doing the same thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot more enthusiasm by Byrd. Not, saying the Trojans did not want it, but they're not playing with the same excitement that Byrd is.
Defense is going to have to make something happen here. They've got to get some momentum back. Handoff goes right up the middle. That's not the way to do it. There is Barajas on the stop.
Just a quick pullback dive up the middle, and their offensive line is doing a good job of opening up holes.
Simmons picks up 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2 from the 28-yard line. And that long look over to the sideline for Lambert and that Jackets offense. And, Coach, they'd be content just to grind as much clock as they can, knowing that they get the ball coming out of the half.
Now they're going unbalanced, strong to the left side or away from our side of the field, and they're going to probably run that way. Yep.
The run does go that way. Inside is Josh Marie. He's going to put the tackle on Desmond Simmons.
I don't know if the Trojans recognized it, but they did a good job of stopping it, even though they got the first down.
Just needed a couple of yards, and they got it. 1st down and 10 now from the 29. They'll give him the 30 officially as the nose of the ball rests there.
And they're in the same set again. Strong left, unbalanced.
Again, you see the Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. Not a good-looking one for the Trojans as they trail it 21-0.
Now they're coming back to the weak side.
Handoff goes up the middle, and it's going to go a long way. The Trojans unable to answer that dive up the middle. That's Simmons again for a big, big gain, coming in and making the stop. Jason Blackwell.
They just out trickeration in the Trojans right now. They ran the same unbalanced left, and then they ran back weak side, and they had more people over here blocking than we had people.
Got to believe close to 300 yards rushing already, 250 already for this Yellow Jackets team. And we'll get some updates at halftime of this. But my goodness, shell-shocked to say the least.
Now they're strong this side to the short side of the field. They got the extra blocker over here, strong wing.
Just methodical, heavy football for this Jackets team. Handoff goes to the fullback. First man through gets it. He's going to pick up just a yard on the play. But at a loss for this.
Just right now, they're just out scheming the Trojans. They're running unbalanced. They're running motion. They're finding the gaps in the defense right now. It's not I don't so much as lack of effort, but just out scheming us.
Yeah, it seems like they are just one step behind in this one are the Trojans. Comes motion once again. Lambert's going to keep it himself up the middle, and he's going to go down at the 29-yard line. Give Lambert 2 yards on the carry. That'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, this is shades of the wishbone. They may not call it that, but that's exactly
well,
what
it is
they're
Thanksgiving,
running.
so
And
Thanksgiving time, so why not get a steady diet of the old wishbone?
And the quarterback is reading it. If they take the dive back, he pulls it. If he doesn't take him, then he gives it. And then
yeah, Lambert is playing the quarterback position like he drew it up himself.
Now they're
back
balanced.
under center. Lambert's going to keep
goes.
it again, and he tries to bust through but doesn't get there. Blackwell gets him. Jason Blackwell on the stop. It'll be 4th down, and there's no way if you're the Jackets you don't go for it, and they hurry and stay out there.
This is going to be quarterback sneak. Right
This is huge for the Trojans. They had a turnover on downs their last time, and Ash will get a timeout here. We'll take it with them. Be back in 30 seconds. You're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Senla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
We are back to Lee Hedges. Trojans need this one definitely in field goal range, but it doesn't look like they're going to trot Murray out there for this one as 4th and less than a yard. And they will bring Lake Lambert back onto the field. Trojans rushing a man onto the field late. And you just have so many things you got to watch for, but Lambert keeping the ball is one of them. Motion again, handoff goes up the middle, and that's going to be an easy 1st down for the Jackets. 23 on the stop. Daniel Crenshaw for the Trojans, but not before that 1st down is there. And, Coach, I don't care where you're at on the field. If you only need a yard and you're this Jacket offense, you go for it.
Well, and they got to give credit. Their offensive line is moving our guys back. He had the yard without even getting hit, so they're whipping us up front as well.
4:30 and counting. 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line into the red zone go the Jackets. Going to run the option. The keeper this side is Lambert, and he's going to get his 3rd touchdown of the day. Walking into the end zone is the senior Lake Lambert, and Coach, the biggest deficit for the Trojans, and you see it right here.
Yeah, this is shades of Washita jumped on us big time. Except we came back and scored a couple. Unfortunately, we ain't even come close in this 1st half.
Well, they get it down towards the red zone, but have been unable to continue a drive. Abram Murray set to add his 4th PAT of the game. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it's good. Over the Lee Hedges scoreboard it goes, and we'll be back in 30 seconds on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
We are back to Lee Hedges Stadium here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Caddo Parish is where we are. And goodness gracious, this is the worst start of a game to the season for the Trojans as they fall behind 28-0. Still a lot of time here. Trojans have got to get a touchdown before we get to the half. And going to expect that there's a touchback. You see the flag atop the pole. That is between the end zone, between the goalpost and the scoreboard. Shows that the wind is blowing at Murray's back. You expect him to put this one into the back of the end zone.
And if you don't, it's because he slipped. And he does.
Oh, he just missed they ought to give him a point for that if he puts it through the uprights on there. 28-0. Byrd leads this one, and this has been the Lake Lambert show. But that purple swarm defense has been true to form. They have been there the entire time just to shut down, bend but don't break.
Well, and just looking at them, I mean, they're not impressive size-wise. Their guys can't be the biggest man out there, maybe 240, 250, and the rest of them probably under 200 pounds.
85 yards on the ground for Cunningham, but, man, it's just been a step or two away from breaking a big one. There he goes out in motion. They'll run the little wheel route, but it's covered up. So Johnson's got it, 25-30. He gets a first down, spun around, going to be knocked out of bounds at the 31, 11-yard pass and catch, and that stops the clock. Trojans have got to get the ball into the end zone. They cannot go down 28-0 here.
I think he's going to start the clock, just move the chains long enough to stop it, and then they're cranking it again because I think he caught him down in bounds.
They did. They picked him up in forward progress, got him in bounds. Motion to Johnson. Johnson's going to get that little inside handoff. That'll count as a complete pass. That will be a complete pass and a gain of 1 yard.
Good job by the defensive front. If you noticed on the tape there, they just worked down the line of scrimmage. They didn't get any penetration as the Trojans went wide. They went wide with them.
I'm telling you, just silent crowd over on the far side as I'm looking at him through the binoculars, just in stunned silence as Mingo comes in motion right to left, going over the top. That one is intercepted again, complete to, we'll see who's got it, number 10, and that is Christian Jones, who dives and picks that one up, but wasn't around anybody. And, Coach, we were worried about it, the Trojans saying they couldn't go down 28-0 at the half. They may not.
They may be 35-0 here shortly.
39-yard line is where this drive will start at the 3:11 mark. And
don't look for them to throw the ball either. It's going to be strictly run because we haven't shown any intention to stop it.
No, just really unable to figure this Yellow Jackets offense or defense out. Lambert and the offense will look to the near side. Nichols in the wing to this side. Strickland there. Also Malachi Johnson. He's had a carry in the game. There goes Johnson the other way. Banging around. Handoff is going to go to Strickland. And for the first time, it looked a little out of sorts for the Jackets. But my goodness is all I can say about this one.
Yeah, they had a little penetration, kind of messed up the mesh point on the handoff right there. And
you still get 2 yards out of the deal.
Yeah.
2:49 is where the clock counts off at. Ball rests at the 37-yard line of the Trojans.
In a true option offense, if they're turning somebody loose and they're reading either the end or the tackle here. Now,
play action on that, and now Lambert is going over the top, and that's his guy, Jackson Dufresne, but unable to pull that one in as big pressure up the middle for the Trojans.
And just lucky he overthrew it because he definitely had the guy beat for the Trojans.
That was Jeremiah Jeffers Wright providing the pressure in 3rd down and 8. And if Lambert is going to complete the pass, you can believe there's a good chance it'll be to Jackson Dufresne, the senior wide receiver.
Yeah, can't be pick-a-booing in the backfield if you're secondary. Here comes back with the option right here, I bet. R screen possibly. Got
You
two.
keep the ball in Lambert's hand, I've got to believe, as he has been Johnny on the spot. He does keep it, cuts it up to the middle, spins around, is going to be dropped at the 33, and that's going to be short of it. Why not trot Murray out there for a 50-yard attempt?
Yeah, that was the old dive option there, and he pulled it out and almost was able to spin out of it and took up the first down.
They're waving the field goal unit off. But I expect they'll run down most of the clock. There's 24 seconds on the play clock. Expect them to run that all the way down, take a timeout, and set up for an Abram Murray field goal.
Yeah, they're going back to maybe the unbalanced set here.
They hurry up to the line of scrimmage, maybe trying to draw the Trojans off sides, or just hand it off. Nope, Lambert's going to keep it. Lambert's going to get in the end zone here. Wow, my goodness, 10-5 touchdown. Lake Lambert is wow. There's not, and we saw him throw the football before the game. We saw him run the ball and hand it off. But you're not able to see game management and an offense being ran until the game gets underway. And that's a fourth down carry that goes to the house for Lake Lambert.
Well, and with the wishbone offense or wing tee, whichever you want to call it, it's basically option football, and it's assignment football. And if you're not in the right place and not right read, it's 6.
35-0 in this one, and I guess I may have jinxed them and said we didn't need to go down 28-0 at the half, and in fact we haven't. Goodness gracious, and the Trojans, if they don't get some business going, are in danger of getting clocked in this one.
Be running clock, right?
When you get to 42-0, the clock runs, and I don't think anybody that's not with a residence in Shreveport that saw that one coming. 35-0, a minute 40 to go here. You see the Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard up at the top, and it's not deceiving you. It, in fact, is Byrd 35, Alexandria 0. Warren Easton up 14-0 over Captain Shreve, another team of local interest here. The winner of this game plays the winner of John Curtis and Jesuit. If Jesuit wins that one, so Byrd's going to be on the road no matter where they go. If they hang on and win this one, that one goes back into the end zone as well.
Minute 40, and I don't know what to say other than if we don't hit a long pass here, it's going to be a long second half.
Well,
short second half.
Joe's thrown 2 picks. He's 9 of 13 on the day for 93 yards and 2 INTs. One of them would have been returned for a touchdown had it not been the penalty on there. But Christian Jones on the last INT just dove and made a good play on it. Look for the Trojans just to run the football. I don't see them trying to get down the field here, but Joe is back to pass now. Spinning around, good coverage. Joe trying to get to the sideline and is going to run out of bounds at the 20. We'll see where they mark him. They'll mark him at the 24, so give him a 4-yard gain on that one.
Tried to hit the deep pass that time, and of course, they dropped out safeties and cornerbacks are 15, 20 yards off the ball, so they're not going to get the deep pass here.
You almost are going to have have something like the old hook and lateral there.
They'll try to break a run.
Back to pass as Joe snaps this one over to Johnson, but throws it towards the back shoulder, and Jalen was looking toward the front shoulder and not connected there. And you got to be really careful here, Coach. It's 3rd down and 7 in giving the ball back to the Jackets with any type of time left. The Trojans just trying to get to the bell. They are a battered and bruised fighter just trying to hang on till halftime.
Yeah, they're going to have to do some serious adjustments if they're going to come back from a 35-point deficit. I don't think we've ever been down this much, to my knowledge.
Not since the playoff loss to Acadiana many years ago has it been this type of a night for the Trojans. That was a trip down to Acadiana in the playoffs. Joe back to pass. Play is whistled dead prior to the snap. Appreciate the folks at Walk-Ons getting the press box food up here. Delay of game against the Trojans, and that backs it up and puts Ash behind the sticks. 3rd down and 12 now. Minute 20, we said remaining clock is stopped following that incompletion. 3rd down and 11 officially. Joe with 2 first-half interceptions. Cunningham unable to break the big one. Joe back to pass. He's being pressured, trying to get to the outside and slings this one, knocked away. And Byrd's going to get the ball back with a little over a minute remaining. And you know that Byrd is going to try to do everything they can to get it to that 42-point mark, not running a score, not doing anything, but trying to get into that clock situation. If you can get there in the first half that you want to do, Trojans have got to keep Byrd out of the end zone in this last minute 12. Kick is up, and it's a short one by Joe. Going to bounce up, check around at the 50, and roll inside the 45 to the 44. Minute 1 remaining, 61 seconds to go. And this is where the Jackets will have it. And, Coach, what's the bet on the Jackets taking a knee here?
Yeah, I would better than 99.9% say they try to score one more time.
This has been an explosive first half, as good of any of executing. And they actually have a safety man dropped back, so it looks like they are in there. So the .01 is paying off.
Yeah, maybe so.
And they will take the knee.
Had a guy run off the field late. It like they might have had an extra guy. Yep.
And there it is. They count the remaining ones, and if you had one run off, then that's 12, and that's illegal participation whistled.
But it won't really matter here.
No, and it does look like they're in there set to take the knee, not wanting to give the Trojans any sort of momentum because they know they get the football coming out of the half.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go to sleep if I was the Trojans because they might do the old fake kneel down, and the next thing you know, he crank it up and hit the number 1 receiver right here.
Lambert, interestingly, all the way over here to the sideline. Now he hustles back in. Didn't know if they had a little trick play in the works there, but he hustles back and gets under center. Took a knee just a moment ago, but it's a different formation now. Yep. Back to passes. Lambert, he's going over the top with one, seeing if Jackson could get under there, and Jackson Dufresne unable to run under that, runs up the back of Mingo, who is back deep to receive, and a penalty flag in the backfield.
Going to be a late hit on the Trojans, maybe?
Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Trojans, and that'll put the ball all the way down to the 46-yard line of the Trojans.
Well, and they did just exactly what I thought they was going to do. They set them up for the deep pass, but the Trojans didn't bite on it, thank goodness. But if anything, it should have been an offensive pass interference because he pushed Mingo down, and even though it wasn't a catchable ball. But anyway, now they may try to run the clock out, but I wouldn't.
53, oh no. Oh, and now he takes the knee, and that's just that's interesting following the shot down the field, and you get the 15-yard penalty to come in and take a knee.
Well, and they may set them up again here.
That could, you're absolutely right, Coach. That could be one of the biggest decoy plays there is. Nope, he'll take a knee again, and the Trojans liable to get whistled again in this one for submarining in there and hitting the quarterback on that, and I don't really understand that. You don't want to. Yeah, that's going to pull. That'll pull the Jackets off the field, and they'll get to the half. This thing has gotten ugly in a bad way. On the road, the Trojans trail it 35-0 at halftime. We're going to step away for halftime. When we come back, you'll see some of the sights and sounds of halftime. We'll have some stats for you when we come back. You're watching Ash Trojan playoff football on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investment.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin, an idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Lock On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pine.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Cenla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? we're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investment.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin, an idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Cenla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investment.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Cenla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
And we are back, getting ready for the second half of action. And a lot of times you can look at the scoreboard and say the score is not indicative of the way the game's going. But It is in this one, Trojan fans. 35-0, Byrd leads this one. They have carried the ball 19 times for 331 yards. You heard me right, 331 yards. 7 of those by Lake Lambert, 217 yards. He's carried the ball for 4 touchdowns. It all started with that 97-yard touchdown run after the Trojans. And the way that it looked, the Trojans got stalled inside of the Byrd territory, but and punted the ball down to the 3-yard line, but all the senior quarterback does is get a little keeper there, read the right key, and house that one as he goes 97 yards. Looking for a bright spot? Lambert's 0 for 2 passing with no yards. Take that and put that one away, Trojan fans. But I'm telling you what, this has just been all Byrd all the time, and they get the ball to come out of the second half. Trojans have controlled the football like they've wanted to. They have just been unable to get things going. 0 of 1 on 4th down tonight, 3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Joe has a couple of picks on the night that ties the high for interceptions in a game for him. He equals the one he had back in the Ruston game earlier at Butch Stoker Stadium. Cunningham, 92 yards on the night. His longest is 38. He's carried the ball 16 times. He's been the workhorse, but the Trojans have just not been able to do anything that they've wanted. And Coach, Byrd comes out of this one. They get the ball in just about a minute and a half as we get things going back on. The Trojans cannot let the ball get into the end zone here and get it to that clock-running 42-point margin.
Yeah, and if they hadn't made some adjustments at halftime, I'm just impressed with the execution by Byrd. And they're not huge. I mean, they're not a West Monroe, they're not a Ruston, but what they do well, and their execution has been almost flawless as far as running the option and reading the keys and stuff. And offensively, as Trojans have been just a little off. We have a couple good plays and then shoot ourselves in the foot or get a penalty, and just haven't looked nowhere near what they've looked the whole season. Even games that we were behind, we didn't think we were out of it. But unless they make a miraculous change here in the second half, I don't see them getting back in it.
No. Lambert's carried the ball 7 times. Simmons has it 5. Nichols 3. Strickland just a couple of times. You remember he was hurt towards the tail end. And at a point like this, you don't expect that he'll carry the football too much. Big, solid receiver or running back for this Byrd team, and they will do anything to keep him into the second round. Looks like a trip to John Curtis is in the wings unless the Trojans can come back. They're up 21-0 over Jesuit in that game, and the winner of this game plays the winner of John Curtis and Jesuit.
Yeah, well, the Trojans, if they had won, would have been at home, if I'm correct. Because
they would have, that's correct. But because this will end up not being an upset, then you're not going to have John Curtis travel, but in fact you'll have Byrd travel down to the New Orleans area, and that's a pretty long trip after Thanksgiving. But anybody will take it. If you're making the road trip after Thanksgiving, your season's going pretty well.
Yep, and that's what I said earlier. It's a lot of want to have to play that extra week, go practice during Thanksgiving. Been there a couple of times myself as a coach, and sometimes the kids just, for whatever reason, they say, that's it, I'm tired, I'm done, and basketball's fixing to start. And, you can make all excuses you want, but tonight it was just Byrd came ready to play, and they've executed very, very well in this first half. Trojans have got to find a way to get back in this thing.
Indeed, they do. My goodness, I just don't have a lot of words. I haven't been speechless a lot of times in the career, and you can the chuckles up here for that. But in this one, I'm just at a loss. It has been knew that the Trojans have struggled to stop the run this year, but nothing like this one. Now the Trojans setting up to kick the ball off.
And apparently Byrd thinks it could be an onside here because they got 10 men within 10 yards of the 50-yard line.
Van Dyke is in there now, and look they bunch in towards the middle. This is one of those you kick high over that first line and just try to sprint somebody down there and get it. The Trojans will spread out here. I don't expect them to come after the onside kick right now.
I wouldn't think so. I'd just give them less field to try to travel.
That'll spread it out, and now Byrd still not
They're looking
sold.
for the sky kick here.
That's right. You still got 10 men within 10 yards, and they are starting to back up just a little bit more to close that 30-yard gap in. Van Dyke puts a foot into this one. It is the sky kick coming up and fielding that one. It bobbles around. Going to be picked back up at the 20-yard line, 25, now 30. Getting to the outside, 30, 35, brought down there by the Trojans, number 40, Vaughn Darbone. And real good field position. Jones carries that one back. And we talk about that 42-point deficit that the Trojans are facing here at 35-0. That puts it into that running clock. And catching up in a game when the clock is running and you're down 42-0 is one of those you're not going to see happen. Still back under center in this one is Lambert. Lambert's had himself a day. 7 carries, 217 yards. Handoff goes, no, it's the pitch. Pitch is backwards. Trojans have a chance to pick it up, and they do. There's the scoop.
He didn't score, but at
least
got it down to about the 15-yard line.
Well, that is certainly how you come out. That's Big Bryce rushing the Stephen F. Austin commit. You'll watch that on the replay. The pitch was errant and then keeping the ball alive, and there's the big man with nimble hands to pick that up. And the Trojans come up trying to get things going here. And, wow, what a turn of events, Coach. And that's exactly what you had to have coming out of the half, is that type of a turnover. Don't close the books on the Trojans just yet.
We're definitely going to have to get some scores here and get them quick, especially we got the wind at our back, too. So this quarter is going to have to be all Trojans.
Joe's got it. Handoff up the middle goes Cunningham. Banging around inside the 5 goes Datlin. And that's a first down and goal for the Trojans from the 4-yard line.
Had a double lead that time up in on the linebackers, and Datlin had a good shot to score.
Cunningham's going to get a no. There's the throw. Not sure where it's going, but it's incomplete, and that'll stop the clock.
Faked the same play and had me fooled, and then the throw was nowhere near.
Second down and goal from the 5. And, wow, 33 seconds into this one. Can the Trojans get on the board here and get it a little bit closer?
Taking a long time here to make up their mind what they're going to run here. The clock's running down.
At 10 seconds on the play clock. Game clock not moving. 7 and 6 and 5 on the play clock. Snap is back. Handoff goes to Datlin, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage there.
Lost a yard.
Goodness gracious. Big number 90 firing through and getting that. That is Isaiah Ford.
If we don't score here, this is not going to be good.
And it is third down and goal. Trojans had it first down and goal from the 4. It's now third down and goal from the 5. And, well, you have got to get it here. You don't want to go to fourth down.
Watch number 18 coming off the right side here. He's traditionally been.
Inside toss to Mingo, and that's a little bit of reverse to Jalen, and cuts it back up the inside, and I don't.
He would have been better off to keep it, and he would have scored. But instead, he pitched it, and they ran right back into where they were waiting.
Loss of 4 on that one, or 3, and it'll make it fourth down and goal now from the 8.
Outsmarted ourselves on that one.
Trojans bring the big heavies back out there.
Field goal.
And they're bringing Mesh out to attempt the field goal.
I guess to try to keep away from that 42-point.
Indeed you are. That's and we've seen Mesh has done some of his best kicking, as I hope not to announce or jinx him there in the last couple of weeks. That kick is up, and it is good. 35-3, Trojans get on the scoreboard here. 3 points following that turnover. We'll be back in 30 seconds on 446 Sports.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
And we are back here. The Trojans get on the board. 25-yard field goal from Channing Mesh as that one splits the uprights. And again, bunched in looking for that. And that's a very good point, Coach. They get those 3 points there to keep the opportunity away from clocking it.
Yeah, well, we saw it last week when the Trojans clocked the McKinley bunch, and it was about to be happening here to the Trojans.
So it's a big 3 points that they pick up. It doesn't look like it on the scoreboard, but in fact it is. That one's going to settle in at the 14-yard line. Cuts back to the inside and going to be brought down, and that is where the Yellow Jackets will have it. First down and 10 from the 25. 9:48 remaining, third quarter. And you see it on the Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. It is Byrd 35, Trojans 3.
Look for them to go back to the power game, dive option, quarterback keep, and burn the clock as well. Shorten the game.
Thought they would have done that there, but it was that errant pitch that got him, and now you'll see Lambert settle back in.
That was about the only mistake.
He's got Strickland in the backfield with him.
Unbalanced this side again. And here they come with the house.
A little bit of a misdirection there, as that is number 27 that carries that one, Tyler Nichols. We've seen him carry the ball a few times. That is Nichols' fourth carry. Give him 45 yards on the night. 9:28 to go in the third. Trojans get on the board 35-3.
Once again, they're running the unbalanced set to the right. Short wing this side.
Still trying to slow things down. Again, man in motion goes to the far side, whiffing on the tackle.
And arm tackling.
Off and running is number 4, and that's Malachi Johnson. Johnson with his, they say no carries. Had him with one earlier in the game, but that's a first down out to midfield. And, Coach, you just don't know if it's keeping it, come to this side, the little toss back the other way, and my goodness.
And it's just they putting a hat on hat. The execution, their blocking scheme is doing a good job, and then the fact that the Trojans are whipping them on the arm tackle, and the guys, the running backs are not big. They're little bitty scat backs. Most of them look like maybe 140, 150 pounds at best.
Strickland, number 26, is a big one. He goes 5'10", 196, right
Touchdown.
up the middle. That is Lambert, and Lambert looking for his 5th touchdown of the night, and it is Lake Lambert takes that one 50 yards. And a great run, but not his longest of the night. That's the 5th touchdown for Lake Lambert. And, oh, my goodness. And that field goal kept it out of the clock range. Murray's set to add another one on.
No, I have nothing else to say, but that Byrd has just come ready to play, and they have just flat put it on the Trojans here tonight.
Indeed, they have. It has been
no answer.
Goodness. Now's where you start looking at some of this. So close to 270 yards rushing just for Lambert alone. He came into the half came out of the half with 217 yards. And just, again, what a legacy that this Lambert family is leaving on here.
I noticed they had 3 losses, Byrd did. Who did they lose to, Doug?
Benton beat them late in the year. Houghton beat them, and Airline beat them. Airline went on to win the district here, in an 8-team district.
I'm definitely impressed with their execution. I mean, physically they're not that imposing, but what they do well, and so far they just flat put it on the Trojans. I don't know, combination of we weren't ready to play or what, but there has been some missed tackles and some blown assignments and all that, but basically it's been their execution that's made the difference here.
First time since 2011 that Byrd has had a 5-touchdown performance. It was Xavier Long that did it. He had 5 rushing touchdowns versus West Jefferson almost 11 years ago to the day. That was on November the 11th in a game. And Lambert now ties that mark with 5. Banging around, and my goodness, I don't know that I have no other adjectives for that. 42-3.
Well, and Doug, I've watched their kickoff teams, their coverage teams. They make the tackles. The little things that we're not except for a couple of runs by Datlin. We haven't broken very many tackles. They're in the right place at the right time, and they're just executing to the top of their game. And unfortunately, the Trojans are not nowhere near their game.
Earlier in the game, when Lambert, that one goes right up the middle, Datlin trying to bang around. When Lambert had that 97-yard touchdown run, that set a record for Byrd. Beats his own record that he had on September the 9th. Lambert went 95 yards in that game on one run. He goes 97 this time to beat his own record.
He's definitely impressive, and here we go, shooting ourselves in the foot.
I believe the foot's about shut off by now, Coach. 42-3 in this one, and it's been a tough one.
Hobbling on one leg for sure.
Right. I'm trying to find a bright spot in this one, but all I can say is that the Trojans will have a lot of young players coming back. There'll be a lot of growing up to do in the offseason. The Coach Bachman is going to get this group back to work pretty soon. There's going to be a hold. Big run by Datlin. Datlin's breaking his biggest one of the night to the 40-30, driven out of bounds, but a holding call looks like it's going to be whistled against the Trojans. The white hat is stopping things, and they're going to pull it all the way back. Flag came out around the 33-yard line.
And if you notice, do we have it on replay here? I started to say, if you notice, if you look down the field as you watch them walk back up the field here, look how many of the Byrd players are down the field where the runner was. I mean, most of the time the linemen, they're just on the line of scrimmage, and they break the line of scrimmage. They stay there, but the Byrd, the whole bunch is down there chasing. There's no quit in this bunch, and I'm impressed with just the overall play of their defense.
Indeed, that purple swarm has been solid in this one, 42-3. Only that field goal of 25 yards from Channing Mesh early on, and I think with about 11 and a half to go. But a very impressive drive continued, and
Got an injured player there. Looks like probably an ankle. It's number, was it 8?
Looks like number 6 that is hobbling there for Byrd. That is Ashton Fullwood, the junior linebacker, that comes off. And again, a 400-plus yard rushing night for Byrd, who continues just to roll things up.
But if we still got viewers out there, I wish you would watch. I'm just impressed when they break the line of scrimmage. All their linemen turn around and they're chasing the ball 30 and 40 yards down the field, and they're not just spectating. They're still trying to make a play.
working on a record, and that's a little wheel out of the backfield. It's caught. Going to be the first down for the Trojans, and that's the biggest play of the night for Ash. That was Cunningham out of the backfield on the wheel. We've seen the Trojans effectively work on that through the years. Scored a couple of times on that wheel out of the backfield. 2 to the near side, now 1 to the top. Trojans have got to get in the end zone. They've got to score and stop. Score and stop's what they've got to do. They trail this one by 39. Snap is back to Joe. Handoff comes to the near side is Cunningham. Cunningham banging around, trying to get to the outside. Dives forward for a first down out to the 40-yard line. And Datlin's had himself a pretty decent night, but the scoreboard doesn't reflect it. I mean, you know that Cunningham would have traded all those rushing yards for to be in this game and to be on the right side of it. J.T. Lindsey, the sophomore running back, checks in. He's a couple of yards behind the senior Joe Bordelon. Now steps up even with where Joe is. Joe, couple of claps and calls for the ball, fakes it to there and throws it out ahead. Spinning around is Johnson. Johnson to the 30, 25, now 23-yard line. Hurrying to the line will go the Trojans. 6.5 to go in the third. Trojans will have to have one of those miracle, fantastic finishes. We saw Frank Wright lead the Bills to this all those years back from a big deficit like that. If we were playing the Falcons, you would think at least there's a pretty good chance they do a good job of blowing big leads. Who dat? First down and 10 for the Trojans, running some clock here.
Yeah,
10 seconds.
They're going to have to fall down for the Trojans to get back in this one, I'm afraid.
Snap is back. Joe's got a little bit of a play action on the inside screen, and that is swallowed up by that Purple Swarm defense.
And if you notice, that was all the linemen coming, working their way back down the line of scrimmage. Every one of them, all 4 defensive front linemen were.
That's right. They saw him get through and then turn around and come back. Once you released on that block that quick, they smelled the screen and were able to drop it, and Mingo would have been better off just to knock that one down.
They're well coached. I'm impressed. Their defense is always around the ball, and when they get beat a couple of times, they're still swarming and going to the football.
Second down and 14. Taking a step back to the far side is Johnson. Play action to Datlin. Now spinning around. This one was picked off earlier, and it was nearly picked off again. Cunningham coming up and playing defense. And that's twice we've seen the throwback, and twice it's been in the hands of a Byrd defender.
Yeah, and that's just well coached. He dropped in that time they dropped in a zone, and he was just sitting out there waiting, and Joe still hung it up out there for him, and lucky he didn't get picked off again.
There is every play there has been a Byrd defender that is one step ahead of the Trojan offense. Third down and 15.
They're doing a good job of confusing sometimes they play in man, sometimes they play in zone. Right now they're looking like it's man. Now they rotate to a 3-deep coverage.
Joe's
zone.
got pressure coming in. Mingo again with that middle screen. But again, the defensive line just drops back off and comes in and gets that.
Got
ball
another
sits.
player down for the Byrd. What are they? Byrd,
the Jackets, the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, well, they swarming like some Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that's you hear our old buddy Lamar sting them, he says. The Jackets have been that team tonight.
They lost a linebacker. Now they got there's a number. Trying to catch his number there. He's hobbling off.
See if we can get on that with the
number 90.
Yep, number 90. And we've seen him make some big plays in this one in the backfield. He's been solid. Good to see Isaiah Ford up and coming off under his own accord.
Maybe it's from a long distance away, but those guys don't. He's a pretty good size, but I don't know if he's that big. But he plays hard for sure.
Back to pass is Joe.
Fourth down.
stepping up, throwing this one into the end zone in double coverage and knocked down, getting the flag out, trying to throw it, but he puts it back in his
Say it's
belt.
not catchable.
The flag was out and then went back in. Turnover on downs for the second time tonight, and that is where Byrd will have it.
And this might be the old run the clock thing here shortly, because if we don't put a stop to them right here, there'll be more than, 40?
Got to get to 42. That's right.
40.
It's 39 right now.
Yeah. And so far we haven't been able to stop them, but one time, and that was because they fumbled.
They had the fumble, yes. Well, they did take a knee right before the half, so that counts.
Yeah, I guess so.
First down and 10 for the Jackets from the 25-yard line.
Put it this way, they haven't had to punt, so I don't even know if they got a punter.
4:34 remaining. Malachi goes in motion. Handoff goes to the first man through, banging around. Pickup of 6 on the play. Trojan fans, it's been an interesting year. Looks like it's going to come to an end here on a Friday night in November, the week prior to Thanksgiving. And stay tuned this year as our 446 Sports Baseball Softball Preview magazine hits the way you should see that the first week in January. We'll have a complete preview of all of the baseball and softball teams out there. Going to include LSUA, LCU, and the Tigers of LSU in that one, so keep an eye out for that. Handoff goes right up the middle, busting through, and that's going to get into the backfield. 40, 30, 20 looking back, but it's not going to matter, and that will be the touchdown that puts the clock into motion for this game, 48-3. My goodness, what a night in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah, they had two defenders that both had a shot at him and tried to tackle him, arm tackle him. Give him credit, he ran hard, but there's not a whole lot of tackling going on there. And
Dixon Poirier gets that one and goes to the house. See Abram Murray set to add his 7th PAT of the night. The Miami Hurricanes commit gets this one up and hammers it through. You're going to see a lot of him throughout his career. Very strong leg for the juniors. Got one more year, we said, to kick here at Lee Hedges before he makes his way down to South Beach.
Yeah, hard not to be negative, but this is not a very good performance by the Trojans by no means. You give credit to Byrd for their performance, but I still say that not a real good showing by the defense for the Trojans, and a lot of missed tackles. Could be missed assignments, I don't know, but it just
Bird's just been a little faster tonight and have been one step ahead throughout from the very first play of the game, their first possession, their first offensive play.
Yeah, but just between me and you, Doug, to me they don't look any better than Ouachita, and we played with Ouachita. You know, they wound up beating us, but we were right there in the game, and I haven't seen that tonight. It just and give them credit, they've executed well, but we've had a lot of missed tackles. In offensive, we've just been a step away here, a drop pass, a penalty here and there, and then when you get down behind, you have to overplay, I guess you say, or 3:37, and the clock will be running now for sure.
Murray set to put a foot into this one, and the clock will run once this one is put into play. Lindsey comes up and gets it at the 4. He's out to the 15, now 20, trying to get to the outside, and no matter what the Trojans do now, and if it gets under the 42-second or the 42-point mark, they won't take it out of the running clock. First time that the Trojans have been clocked in a game.
We did it to who did we do it to?
I did it to McKinley last week. Did it to Green Oaks earlier in the season, and Natchitoches Central. Off-season is going to be interesting. You know, we've talked to Coach Bachman several times about the intensity level and things that are going to ramp up as next season rolls around. 37 sophomores and 43 freshmen on this football team for the Trojans. Not all of those traveled, but a big group. Only 12 seniors, I think he said, or 16 seniors.
Yeah, well, those young guys are going to have to grow up quick and pick up the slack next year for sure. Number 3 there carrying the ball for the Trojans.
Cunningham gets to the outside. And, wow, what a night. I'm just beside ourselves here. Trojan fans, it's a rebuild year here. The Trojans will drop to 5-7 on the season. And as they head into the offseason, some Trojans going to basketball. Some will go on and get ready for baseball, but they'll all get to working for next year, those that are the underclassmen. And the offseason works out. January 1st is going to be an interesting time as those Trojans are going to get back to basics and preparing for next season. 3rd down and 5 here.
This is about the worst defeat I've seen the Trojans have
since the Acadiana playoff game about 7 years ago.
Right.
This is probably the worst one.
One year we got whooped pretty good, if I remember, when we went to Destrehan. I don't know how many years ago that would have been.
Joe gets this one over the head and nearly intercepted again, kind of bounced around. Had a bead on it, did number 22. That was Jaden Anderson.
Yeah, Byrd's just dropping back in the zone and reading the quarterback and trying to go for the pick there. They're not even playing man anymore.
Jackson Dufresne back deep to receive. We've heard a lot about this senior wide receiver. And there's going to be a timeout that is whistled.
Too many on the field. Coach called a timeout.
And that would have made things interesting if they would have got that 5-yard penalty for illegal participation. Would have made it where the Trojans thought they could go for it. A big shout out to our sponsors as well. Walk-Ons, who was our Thomas Bachman show home for the season. Sadler's Towing brought you the Thomas Bachman show all throughout the year. And, of course, Wallace Eye Associates there in the long list of them. BK Distributors. You see them rotating around. Valex Federal Credit Union. Jason Hawk Farm Bureau was there. And just so grateful to everybody. Appliance Parts that's there. You saw the commercials that went through. Make sure that you go out and tell these people you appreciate their football support of 446 Sports.
And walk-ons gave us something to eat up here again tonight, so they double-dipped on us.
That's right, but it wasn't our walk-ons.
No.
It was the one up here, but we'll take it. Joe puts a foot into this one. Big, high kick. Going to be Dufresne calls for the fair catch, and it's made at the 39-yard line.
Probably look for some of the backups to be playing for Byrd here since they got the running clock, I would think.
Well, I think you try to rest them because you've got a big game against John Curtis down in Baton Rouge next Friday night. They'll eat some turkey during the week. They'll have a Thursday night practice and make the way down to Baton Rouge. That's a long trip, but one you don't mind taking as it's a chance to get into the semifinals. Quarterfinal action, we'll see Byrd and John Curtis next week.
Select, do they play in the dome? Or
yes, everybody does.
Everybody does? Okay.
Yep, the 9th and 10th. That's going to do it for the third quarter of play. We'll be back just to run out the fourth when we come back. You're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
Who's losing?
We are back to Lee Hedges, and in that game, Carr is behind, and that's an interesting one. That is a new quarterback that's in there, as we had imagined. That is J.D. Gallman, the junior quarterback.
I think we might have got away with a face mask there. They spun him around, but wasn't called. Yeah, they definitely got their backups out there.
Picks up 8 on that one. We're going to get some scores as they come along. tie ball game down in New Orleans, as that game is 17-all.
Running a lot of clock between plays here, trying to.
Yeah, you're into the moving clock area here, and keep an eye, sports fans, out as we will cover a lot of basketball action between now and the end of the year. Of course, baseball season right around the corner. A lot of action coming around. We do over 200 games. Great football season for us this year. We watched Buckeye, we watched Menard, and we watched these Trojans and the Eagles had a little extra football. They made it to the playoffs. And Buckeye in a rebuilding year.
And like you said, there's some good basketball teams in our area. There's several girls teams that I know, Northwood, Bolton.
Northwood coming off their state championship. Handoff right up the middle, and that's a first down. How about the LSU women, Coach? 4 games in a row, they went over 100 points in that one, LSU women's basketball. The Kim Mulkey era is alive and well down in Baton Rouge. First time in the history of the Tigers, of the Lady Tigers, that they've scored over 100 points 4 games in a row.
Yeah, she's got them rolling down there, and there'll be more people watching the girls play than the guys if they keep going like that.
Guys are off to an undefeated start as well this year, and just a lot of football. Now the Tigers will play, they'll host UAB on senior night tomorrow night. That's an 8 o'clock start.
Hope they don't go to sleep on that one.
Well,
Arkansas, they didn't exactly light the clock up.
No, and it was, 30-something degrees down there. That tackle is made to the far side. Clock will continue to run throughout as this one is 49-3. 9.5 to go.
Trojans still got some of our starters in on defense.
Well, you're letting some of the seniors play out.
Yeah, they're substituting in a few guys now.
Their final game, you see Bryce rushing. He had the fumble recovery. Tay Frazier, the senior, still in there. A lot of these guys that are seniors, Coach, he's not bringing out because he's going to let them play. You got 9 minutes to go in your high school career. Going to go ahead and go. Bryce Rushing will go on to play at Stephen F. Austin in Nacogdoches, Texas.
And Cunningham, somebody needs to take a look at him. I think he's
Cunningham, we expect will go the JUCO route.
Yeah.
He'll be a hard runner, and look for him to make a move after a couple of years at the junior college level.
Joe may have a shot in baseball, possibly. I don't have to wait and see how as the season comes out, but he's not a bad pitcher.
A lot of these youngsters we saw contribute all season long. Of course, you'll have Jalen Johnson back. We'll see what the Trojans do at quarterback, as there's not really been a big heir apparent that is in there. You know, you go back to Judd, who was the big, strong, tall, long-haired quarterback, right over to Joe, who the last couple of years has done the same thing, and not going to have that next year. We'll see what they do. Rumblings have been perhaps you'll see Mingo back there.
First punt of the game for the Byrd.
And they will send back number 1, Abram Murray, of course.
See what kind of leg he's got here. Looks like there might be a guy short here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They don't got but 9.
It's only fair.
Yeah, that's close enough. As long as they got enough men on the line of scrimmage, it'll be all right. They've got 2 short, Coach.
That's right. He counting again, and that'll be another timeout taken by Byrd.
Yeah, the JV guys had a chance to play and then didn't get out there. And number 12 comes running out.
That is 12 coming back in is Lambert, and you don't expect you'd see him going back out there on the punt team.
So he was just volunteered.
Right, that'll bring Gallman back in there. Yeah, you don't expect you're going to bring your quarterback that you bring out back in on special teams by any means. This Byrd team looking good. John Curtis or Jesuit is where they will find themselves next week. Get some scores over here for you, and it's all John Curtis in there. Well, that one back a halftime score. Catholic of Baton Rouge up 14-0. St. Thomas More big in that one, 48-0. Leesville on top of Jennings, 21-7 in the fourth. So Coach Kamikaze doing his thing. Amite 46, Gina 6. They're trying to roll on and repeat their state championship. St. Mary's 45, Hanson Memorial. That one is a final. Avoyles 38, St. Helena 8. First punt of the night is off and going, rolling around, will find its way. Great coverage. That'll be out at they're calling a touchback. The near side is calling a touchback. Rose Pine 13, Westlake 13 in the fourth. Manny 14, Richwood 0 in a shocker as close as that one is. Patterson on top of Winfield 30-6. Haynesville 16, Oakdale 8. That game is at the half.
Now they're saying they're spotting it at the 5, and he knocked it out there. I don't see that. It should either be down at the 1 or a touchback, one or the other. But apparently now they're going to talk about it because he batted it back out to the 5-yard line and he stopped the forward progress at the 1, but then.
And the touchback is what they're calling.
Now
yeah.
they're saying touchback.
6:36 to go in this one.
I think they're still leaving their first defense out there, if I'm not mistaken.
Swinging around the league, looking at a few more. Edna Carr and Scotlandville tied at that one.
That's some tough game right there.
Indeed it is. John Curtis, Jesuit, we saw that. Brother Martin 17, St. Aug 3. Northwood of Shreveport, the Falcons up 21-9. In that battle there in Carencro, it is Carencro 20, Acadiana, the Wrecking Rams 17. You remember that game was 21-20. Acadiana wins that one in week 9. Carencro was off a couple of weeks, but you can believe, Coach, that was a slobber knocker of a game. Warren Easton 35, Captain Shreve 0, Lafayette Christian 38, McDonough 35-0. Acadiana Carencro, we told you about that
Some
one.
blowouts.
Homer
like
all
this
over Delhi. Logansport on top of East Feliciana. Trying to look at some of those games that we've seen some players. There's that Amite Gina score 46-6 going up the middle and getting a Trojans first down. Patterson on top of Winfield 30-6, Union Parish, and Trey Holly continues to run it up 21-7 there. St. James on top of Lauroville.
What about Manny?
Manny was up 14-0 over Richwood. That game in the third quarter. 14-0. North Vermilion on top of Church Point, 28-24. Opelousas in a battle. Twatman's 22-20.
What about North DeSoto?
North DeSoto and the Fighting Duns, 20-7.
Over Cecilia.
Yep.
And
spinning around, running out near midfield.
Probably the second biggest run we've had all night.
Leesville 21, Jennings 7, Iowa 17, Abbeville 14. East Ascension and Neville, that is a battle. Neville on top 10-6 in the third quarter. And Destrehan on top of the Griffins of Dutchtown 28-14. West Monroe 10, Zachary 6. A lot of people thought that Zachary was going to come in and blow West Monroe out of that ball game, but West Monroe on top 10-6. Their defense has been so solid, save for that Ruston game.
Yeah.
The Tigers of Benton 21-14 over Denham Springs. That's in the third quarter. And look at this one over in Ruston. Ruston 14, Ouachita Parish 13.
Wow.
Closer than the experts would have you believe. Ouachita Christian rolling over Sacred Heart 49-0. Southern Lab up 12-6 over St. Fred's. And Vermilion Catholic on top of Cedar Creek 24-0.
And second team for Byrd defense is out there holding the Trojans so far. Still got
4
a
minutes.
lot of seniors.
4 minutes even, that's right. The senior's still out there. You see J.T. Lindsay in at quarterback. He's the in at running back. He's the heir apparent to that lead running back spot that Datlin has put up some impressive numbers.
Nice play there by Byrd.
Trojans held without a touchdown thus far in tonight's game, and have to look back at the records, Coach. I don't remember a time that the Trojans were held without an offensive touchdown.
Yeah, and this is fourth down, and if they don't pick this one up, there won't be one tonight.
Won't be one tonight. 3 points for the Trojans. That was a 25-yard field goal off the foot of Channing Mesh. Snap is back. JT's got it. JT cutting to the near side. JT's got a chance. 30, 20, 10, right up the middle. Touchdown, JT Lindsay. Touchdown, Trojans. And that takes a nasty asterisk off of this game as the time that the Trojans had no offensive touchdowns. JT goes out from about 45 yards out.
Yeah, takes a bitter taste out of the mouth, but it's still a pretty good shellacking by the home team here tonight.
You see the BU Designs instant replay. Again, if you're looking for any of your sports apparel or tumblers or any designs like that, custom made, just check out BU Designs on Facebook. On for the PAT is Channing Mesh. He has 3 of the Trojans' 9 points tonight. With that kick, he adds another.
I guess he'll be joining the soccer team shortly. They play tomorrow.
Won't be long, that's correct.
I got to drive them down to Dutchtown tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Well, you ought to just stay around there for the Tigers game tomorrow night at 8.
Yeah.
Well, what a disappointing night it has been in this one, but a fun season for all of us. We saw a lot of good football from the Trojans, some hard-fought action in this one. They will fall to 5-7 on the season, first losing record for the Trojans in a number of years. And it's just been a night that has been all Byrd in this one. We will get some final stats for the game when it is over with. Again, can't say enough about the folks from Byrd. Very hospitable up here until they got down between the lines, and then they were a little rough on us. Great facility, a lot of great folks here. This has been a fun night. We'll make the 2-hour trip back south down I-49 into Alexandria.
Got a minute clock's counting right now, so this maybe one more play here.
Well, the way that it does, you don't even know that Byrd will have to come up and snap the football even.
Probably can just let it run out as the
15 seconds between the play clock and the game clock, and if they hold it for just 10 more seconds, and it looks like they're going to, that's going to wrap things up. I don't see, nope. Ball won't be snapped again. That's your final score, and that'll put a wrap on the Trojans' 2022 season. They lose this one 49-10 at the hands of the 6th seed, the Byrd Jackets. There'll be handshakes in the middle of this one and a long ride back for the Trojans. Out leading the way, you saw that by the Trojans, Caleb Andrus, the sophomore linebacker. He'll be back on the season. Josh Marie, the senior, behind him. Trojans fall to 5-7. Chuck, let's take our final break of the night. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Lee Hedges Stadium in Shreveport. We'll be right back. A 1-minute timeout.
If you could fly, you can play hide and go seek in the cloud. I want to be a pilot.
How many starters?
You can see the
lost
whole
3
entire
regular
world.
starters. The tackle, the one that quit for whatever reason.
If you could fly, you could see the whole world in every room.
But he's got a flat
There you
button.
go. On a plane with a pilot. Your dream's gonna come true.
Please join us in supporting Dreams Come True of Louisiana. Donate today at gilesgivesback.com.
We are back, and look, I'm telling you, it is nice to have the statistics following the game, and these guys are on point. If you're going to go take a beat down, come to Byrd and do it. The press box is great. The facilities are great, and what better place to come And
not even freezing to death or any of that kind of stuff.
Goodness, no, we got to sit inside. We didn't have to sit outside.
Didn't put us on the back of a truck or none of that.
No. And look, we've been there and done that this season, without a doubt. It has been an interesting one. Started out in the rain and the slop in that Karen Crow game, and then down to St. Thomas More. That was a tough one. It's just been goodness. It's been interesting to say the least.
Long ride home for the Trojans, though. But they've come a long ways. It didn't think they were even going to be in the playoffs at one point, and then kind of turned it around.
Yeah, they go 1-4 in district play. Their only win over winless Rebels of Pineville in that one. Boy, I'm glad we weren't outside. A little chilly out there.
Yeah, I'll have to put my overcoat on to go to the bus.
Yeah, that long trek that you'll make. Where did you end up parking, Coach?
I'm in the South 40 over there, the other side of the.
He's in lot 409. Huh?
Yeah.
That's right. Just off Nicholson.
Just close to the Nicholson, yeah. LSU Stadium, not too far away.
That's right. He's out behind the baseball field. Interesting season that it has been here, and I'm telling you, Trojan fans, it was a pleasure to bring this to you. I know a lot of you stayed in and watched this one till the very end, and we are grateful for that. I think that'll wrap things up for us this evening. Chuck on production all year. Chuck, we appreciate what you've done. Brett joined us this year and has ran camera for us, has run the scoreboard, and now did stats tonight before he got frustrated and quit doing it. So the battery died on the computer. That's right. That has to. A lot of batteries died tonight, it seems like, without a doubt. And of course, Ernie by my side. This is year 96 that he has called football, and so it is a. What stadium? Oh yeah, no, we're not. It has been a lot of fun, Coach. We appreciate everything that you've done to bring to us, and the pulled pork in week 9, I think, was a plus as well on there. Your thoughts as we look back on the season?
Well, it's kind of disappointing, and I'm sure the kids are disappointed in the season. But got a lot of young kids coming up in the future. I want to wish Byrd success. Hope they go down and put the whooping on John Curtis, because they definitely got a good offensive team. Did a good job of execution, and wish them well. Hope the Trojans can come back next year. Rebuild, just reload hopefully, and some key spots. We're gonna have to replace quarterback and some defensive people and some running backs and stuff. But I think they'll be good for the future.
Indeed, they will. That's going to put a wrap on this. Big shout out to all of our sponsors that helped us do this, all the countless miles that we went up and down the road. My man Roger Walker, who is our home cameraman, he's done a great job. Doesn't make the road trips with us, but we appreciate Roger for everything that he's done. Had a couple extra camera people along the way, and it's been a tremendous run. But that is going to put a wrap on the 2022 season. As always, we thank you so much for your support of 446 Sports. For the final time in 2022 from the football field, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.